Strolling in the Austrian open-air museum Stübing is as if you're traveling to the country back in time. Established in 1970 on a small hill southwest of Vienna, the museum covers 150 acres of land, all for displaying 97 historical buildings such as wooden homesteads, granaries, and kilns, showing different styles of construction in various parts of the country. Over the last 6 centuries, it is among the biggest and open-air museums in Europe and has gained reputation as a national treasure of Austria.
In open-air museum, there are objects which are very characteristic for some particular areas, particular regions, particular way of life, and particular functions in the past. Yeah, and these buildings are normally dismantled, the original places and the original situation, and they are numbered, the pieces are numbered, and the pieces are brought to the open-air museum and then rebuilt there. Special thing about protecting wooden parts of these objects in open-air museums, you should use traditional methods. Sometimes, of course, some parts of the buildings are quite rotten, and it is not anymore possible to work with traditional methods, and maybe some modern treatment, like chemical treatment and such things, are necessary. And it is also important to take into consideration the history of the building. It's not appropriate to reconstruct the building in the first stage of the origin, the first stage of its existence. Yeah? These buildings, especially in vernacular architecture, these buildings have a long history of moderation, of alterations, of change, of functions, of some spaces, of some rooms, maybe of some construction details, and maybe enlargement of the whole building, and this must be taken into consideration. Building is a sort of a living thing, not a dead thing, which ends with the initial status, in the initial stage, but it has, as I told you, many alterations during its lifespan. There is a difference between these museum objects and the objects which are still in use. The museum objects are not in use anymore. This means that you can apply the strict theoretical restoration methods in these objects, outside of you, which are really in use. It is not possible in most cases, because you have to make compromises, you have to make some inputs of, for example, new heating systems. It's not appropriate, of course, in the 21st century to have a smoke kitchen and to have smoke rooms in the houses, or also in the most faraway farmhouses. It's not possible anymore. People should notice the original status, the original stage of the objects in the time before it was translocated.